Hello, and welcome. To give you some context, this video was originally going to be yet another comparison where I take a suspicious Nintendo Switch emulator and stack it up against Sadachi, or the latest Yuzu version, pointing out, see, it's exactly the same thing, with no improvements or gains. But I must admit, Nyushi genuinely surprised me, and you're about to find out why. I've advised the community multiple times not to use this emulator, but there were always people saying Nyushi was better than Sadachi and Yuzui, asking me, why don't you make a video about it? Whenever that happened, I'd ask for a safe download link from the user who commented, but the link never surfaced. Thankfully, our friend Alex Indy created the largest repository of emulators, which I'll link to in the description. You'll find practically everything there, and I highly recommend supporting his work, as his dedication to the community has been tremendous. So, after finally getting my hands on this emulator, I decided to test it out. I initially recorded gameplay with it, then recorded on Sadachi version 1.0.10, since version 1.0.11 has a lot of issues, to compare results. But things didn't go quite as expected this time, and if I hadn't recorded everything, even I'd find it hard to believe. To capture the gameplay, I used my ROG Phone 6 with 8GB RAM and a Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 processor, connected directly to HDMI and then to my PC's capture card, so there were no memory leaks from recording software. Before we get into the tests, if you enjoy random reviews of generic emulators, please leave a like. And if you're new here, consider subscribing for all the latest videos. Let's dive into the first game tested, Dragon Ball FighterZ. Even with updates and cheats necessary to get this game running on some emulators, it crashed right after the menu, which, up until now, was expected. Next, we moved on to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. This game should have run normally. I imported saves, Mii's firmware was updated, keys were on version 18, everything needed to run it was in place. But on the first attempt, it crashed on the menu. No big deal, I gave it a second shot, and it crashed again. Thinking it might have been an issue with importing Mii's, I created a new Mii and tried again, but the game froze in the menu again. At this point, I was already skeptical about the project. But hang tight, things get even worse. I decided to try Pokémon Scarlet. The game rendered decently up to the main screen, but after a few seconds, it crashed again. So far, I've tested only 3 problematic games. Now I decided to go easy and thought, alright, emulator, let's see if you can handle Pokémon Let's Go, one of the lightest games for the system and even used as a benchmark for low-end devices. And this time, it worked. I caught my first Rattata, my Pokémon was registered. And then it crashed. Really, a crash with Pokémon Let's Go running at 720p? I can play even heavier games in 1080p on this device with Yuzui and Sadachi, but with Nyushu, not even Pokémon Let's Go. Princess Peach, which has already been fixed in other projects, doesn't even make it to the menu here. And of course, we tested the best game on this platform. You have to agree with that statement, Super Mario Odyssey. In the Metro Kingdom, Nyushi delivers decent gameplay, with the game staying above 50 FPS most of the time, which is normal for my device on this title. I thought I'd get a bit further, maybe explore another kingdom, but didn't even get the chance. The game crashed again. Now get ready for a good laugh, though I'll admit I was a bit concerned. I decided to try Yoshi's Crafted World. Look at the temperature, it was only 35 degrees, which is actually pretty cool for my device. I was using a cooler, linked in the description if you're interested, but within seconds of gameplay, the game caused my device to reboot. However, as you already know, I'm stubborn and tried again. This time, I got a bit further, almost finishing a level, but once again, my device crashed. After that, I noticed I had Zelda, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom on my drive, so let's test them out. Starting with Breath of the Wild, no exaggeration, I was genuinely impressed by how well it ran. Look at this gameplay, it's running at 720p, not even using 100% of my GPU. I played for about 15 minutes, expecting a crash at any moment, but it didn't happen. Honestly, it was one of the best Breath of the Wild experiences I've had on Android so far. At one point, when speaking to an NPC, the game froze for a bit, but resumed after a few seconds, allowing the gameplay to continue smoothly. This was the only game that ran successfully, but let's keep going. Moving on to Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, I assumed it would run decently since it uses the same engine as Breath of the Wild. And we did get some gameplay, though not for long, as it crashed back to the emulator's home screen in under 45 seconds. At this point in the video, I'd practically given up on the emulator, which only managed to run Breath of the Wild so far. But since I'm persistent, I grabbed 3 more games, 2 from Criterion and Super Mario Wonder, which should run. Let's see how that went. The first game I tested was Burnout, but I couldn't even get in game after 2 attempts, as it crashed in the menu twice during the first loading screen. Next, I tried Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. Like many other emulators, I expected this game to crash at the race selection screen. But I was pleasantly surprised, as the game was actually playable. Imagine being surprised when an emulator runs a game, given that emulators are made precisely for that purpose. Need for Speed actually runs, and pretty well, I might add. In this gameplay, we're running the game at 720p. The gameplay lasts for over 5 minutes without any crashes, graphical issues, or performance drops. Lastly, I tested Super Mario Wonder. Depending on the emulator, this game either works or doesn't even make it through the tutorial. And then there's Newsham Mode. Newsham Mode is when you can't even reach the mission selection screen. To be honest, I hate making these videos where nothing works, but this time, it really didn't. Look at the number of games I tested. I tried hard, adjusted settings, but nothing makes Newsham work properly. If you want to test it, head over to Alex's GitHub page, where you'll find this and other projects. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.